As you can tell by what we just unwrapped, we're going to talk about pocket holes today on Woodworking with Wes. We just purchased a brand new Kreg K-5 pocket to hole jig, and we're going to show some of the features that it has and put a board together and see how it works. Let's get started. Of course, the main part of our pocket hole jig is the clamp that holds the board. This is where your drill goes, and let's get started right away. First thing you need to do is set up the depth that you want to be drilling. Now, I always like to put my drill bit in and then back it off about 1/8 of an inch, hold it, and then this little collar has a set screw. We're going to back the set screw out. We're going to set our drill bit up like that. Let's put our collar there, right where we want it. The collar lets our drill bit only go as deep as we set the collar for, and I'll show you. As we drill our hole, we want our hole to go down and stop not quite all the way through the wood. Our screw will catch, a panhead type screw, will catch on that little shoulder that our drill bit makes. And if you look at the drill bit has a fat part and then this little skinny little part there that is allowed for the screw, but this creates the square bottom hole that I just showed you on our sample. And that is what pulls the board together. When our screw sits down in there and it pulls on that little shoulder, that's what pulls the boards together. So this is where we want our drill bit set. We've got our collar on there. The next thing to do is to set up for the thickness of the wood. Now, the thickness of the wood that we're using today is 13/16, and if you look on the side of our block, there are some little number indicators, thickness of wood. And you just put those in there like that. It has a little pin here to catch our hole. We want to be a little more than 3/4 of an inch, and so we'll stop it right there, and that's 13/16. We'll put it right there. The next thing we want to do is to bring our plunger up tight. This pulls our plunger tight. This little handle here pulls our plunger tight, but we need to be adjusted up close. It has a little ratchet there that we just push down. We bring it up tight, and let's back it off just a little bit here so that we can pull our hammer down and tighten it up. A little too much there still, like that. I want to have it just one more right there. Okay, we're in there good. We open it up, we put our board in. Ratchet holds that board, and that holds it really good and tight so that when we drill, our board is held good and tight. So we'd be drilling like this into our board. If we're just doing a single board like this, just an end of a face frame or something like that, this works really good. If you're doing a longer panel, this little jig comes with some extensions that clip onto the side so that if you put a piece in like that, it holds it level. And that's nice if you have a big piece that you want to be holding level. You want to have that extra support out here. It also has some little storage compartments for screws and additional options. One of the options that is available, I wanted to show you, was a little stop feature here in case you wanted to have a lot of holes all drilled at the exact same place on each board. This little stop feature clips into the side, has a set screw. You just clip that into the side there, and then you put your board up against it, pull your plunger, and you would drill in the same spot every time that you would do your holes. And if you have a reason for that to be, that's a nice little feature to have a stop there. Now, there are two different kinds of screws. I wanted to show you. There are coarse thread and fine thread. Your coarse thread is for your softer woods, pine and alder, and this is poplar. Or you can have a real tight thread for your real hardwoods, walnut, oak, ash, those types of things. And each screw has a little self-tapping groove. I'm going to get real close there. I don't know if you can see that real well, but there's a self-tapping groove to self-tap the hole as it drills into your opposing piece. I'm using this shorter screw, but screws come in different lengths for different applications. And they are square drive. And with the kit comes a nice long square drive bit for your drill to drive your screw, and that is helpful to have a nice long bit, like a nice long driver like that, so that it fits down in the hole. We have our stop set. Let's go ahead and drill a piece of wood and put a corner together like we would be doing a face frame. First thing we do is lock in our piece of wood. I'm going to turn it around here so you can see. We'll put our drill in here. Drill our holes. Now look at all this sawdust. This has a nice little feature. This attachment right here is to hook up a shop vac and suck all your sawdust away. It will be a nice way to do that and keep your workbench clean. And look at our holes. They're all drilled, ready to go. And let's go ahead and put it together. Now, one of the things that I have found over the years when putting a corner together like this for a face frame is you want to have it clamped down really good. The jig comes with a clamp, but I use it on my workbench, and so I have a different clamp, same kind of thing, but because I have a very thick workbench, I clamp it to my workbench, and that holds it really good and solid. We'll take our drill bat out. We'll put in our square driver, our long square driver. We'll use our coarse thread screw because this is softwood, this is poplar. And see how that sucks it in? Let's go ahead and put the tight thread screw in here also. Okay, there we are. Nice strong joint. We don't even have any glue on there, and there's a joint that you can't even hardly pull apart. In fact, I don't think I could. Very strong joint. This is an excellent face frame joint to make your frames for your face of your cabinets or your furniture. There's no better way to put a face frame together than pocket holes. I've used them for years. By the way, I got my pocket hole jig from Amazon. You can get yours there too. We'll add a link to that. But we just wanted you to know how to use a pocket hole jig and the many uses that it can have. It's a great little tool to add to your shop, a must-have. And we'll see you next time on Woodworking with Wes.